Welcome to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. Today we're at Chapman, Kansas, about a mile, a little less than that, from the Kansas Auto Racing Museum. And this is Labor Day activities, so we're gonna take a look at the car show and some of the beautiful cars that are here, Roger. And then later in the program, we're going to do the night at the track. We're going to go to Salina Speedway. You've raced at Salina Speedway, same as I have for lots of years. Have a lot of fond memories from the track?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either. But
Yeah, no, it was a fun track. We raced there in the 80s, as you know, and you raced there, I think, in the 70s.
I did, yeah.
But, yeah, I always liked Salina, and particularly liked the people there. They were friendly, and there was quite an assortment of people at Salina.
A lot of good competition, because
Very
you get
tough.
cars coming from the west, and you get cars from the east, and all over the area. And Salina Speedway seems to be doing really well right now, and that's good, because the track was closed for a few years, so we're glad to see it come back.
Standing room only Friday night.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
They had a special promotion and a lot of giveaway tickets, but it worked because they actually had to turn people away, and that facility will hold a lot of people.
Yes, it will.
And we sent Mike Kraft out for the races on May the 25th. And Mike, as always, did a good job with the interviews. And I know some of the people that you'll be hearing later in the show. He interviewed Corey Lagoon, and Corey, of course, has been racing for a number of years now. I remember when he started. Austin Carter, Tyler Fry, Chris Unruh, and Brandon Leeson in the mini stock class. And I'm glad to see the mini stock class is going well at Salina Speedway, because started that class, and that became nationwide class. It's affordable, and I'm glad to see that some of the changes to the rules have been such that the class is more affordable now than what it used to be.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I also understand that he's going to interview that fella that lost the B-Mod race on the last lap.
Oh,
the green white checker. What was his name?
Oh, that kid out of Junction City.
No, not talking about the old guy.
Yeah,
He
that's
looks
what I
like
was
Santa.
talking about.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Santa.
Don Morse.
Oh, Racing Don Morris.
Racing
Yeah,
Don Morris.
Lost it on the led that thing the whole time.
Yeah.
He said he was just. I talked to him briefly. He said he just got tired and took a quick nap about the time they dropped the white flag.
I heard him say that. He lost concentration, forgot what he was doing, and slowed down and led all the way, and somebody passed him, and he said that'll never happen again.
Yep. I guess he's
How many
quit
times have we
racing.
heard Don say that one? That'll never happen again.
Well, about the same number of times he was passed on the last lap.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, be careful. He's right over there.
Yeah, he is.
watching.
He's
Yeah.
right over here, and he'll get to yelling at us. Hi, Don.
Yeah.
And you can tell perhaps behind us we have the administration center. This is for the Chapman School District, Chapman District number 473. Chapman, of course, was hit by a tornado in 2008, and one of the buildings that were destroyed completely was the administration center behind. Chapman has all new schools. Town's really come back well. So we're interested in not only the town, of course, but also seeing the car show. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these important messages, so stay tuned.
I'm Ken Tatro, and you're watching the Grassroots Racing Show on my favorite network.
Welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. We've stopped by one of the most beautiful 55 Chevrolet pickups you'll ever see, and visiting with Jim Talley. His wife Vicki is around here rubbing on this vehicle. And Jim, come on in. Tell me a little bit about the vehicle.
Well, like you said, it is 55 Chevy. It's a second edition with a custom cab, and it's got kind of a Navy theme. I retired out of the Navy, and one of my projects is with the river divisions, brown water Navy. So as you see on the front of the hood, it's got Neptune's Trident to start with, and then the flames branched out from it. And
Who did the painting on this, Jim?
Norris Peterson. He paints tractors for
Sure.
Abilene Machine. You
Sure.
probably know Norris.
Yeah,
don't
I
you?
do. Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is his first flame job.
Well, he did a fantastic job.
Yes, he did. We get a lot of compliments on that.
Thanks. Thanks for coming through.
Duck.
How many hours do you have in this
Well,
vehicle?
I was saying, Doug, I think we're talking years, about 8 years to put her together. We've had the truck for probably 30 years, and it took a little longer to get it together in a couple hours.
And then you've got a cost factor, one that you tell to the public and one that you tell to Vicki.
Well,
what's the one though that you tell to the public?
You got that right on the Vicky part. No, she's the lady with the money, so
she knows how much is in this.
Oh, I suppose there's 25,000.
Oh, and it's beautiful. How many car shows you do a year?
Oh, as many as possible. One a weekend during the summer, and it generally starts about May until about October.
And the Chapman one, how many years have you been doing the Chapman
This is
show?
our third year here.
Okay.
I think.
All right, did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, we enjoy them all.
And you go through the parade also?
Yeah, we have. I don't know when it's going to be this year.
It's at 2 o'clock today. Do you drive through?
Oh yes, yeah. I don't know if we brought our candy though. We like to throw candy.
Well, there you go. There'll be plenty of candy. Don't have to worry there. All right. Now, Jim, we're getting some really good pictures of the side of this. How'd you come up with the idea for the kind of the flame setup here on the front? Was that from your Navy days?
No, I saw a truck in a magazine, and I liked the real flames. The decal flames are fine, but I thought, you know, this one kind of, you won't get another one.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll only do it once, and it'll never be the same. So, but yeah, I kind of, well, actually our River Division patches are on the back of the seat.
I see that.
It was River Division 551, and we were called the Delta Devils, so therefore I had to do something in a red, which is an Inferno red, and then the yellow is what they call Yellow Devil. And that worked as a theme. And then of course when I tagged the truck, I tagged it with her call sign on the radios. It's titled Red Devil. Okay. So that kind of makes the theme and what's going on.
Well, it's a beautiful truck. What engine do you have in this?
I've got a 327.
327. Yeah. And we'll open the hood here in just a minute and take a good look at that. But this got a cover on the back, and of course that wasn't factory. You added that on.
Yeah.
And when you say this is a second edition, what's that mean?
Well, Chevy made the standard old truck up till 1955, and in about the middle of 55 they changed their body style. They got away from the old running board underneath and the sloped sides on the bed, and this is what the first came out with in 1955 as a second edition.
Okay, and how many of these were made, if you have any idea?
No, I don't have any idea, but there were very few, because this is a deluxe cab with the wraparound windows. They used to have the little portholes on some
I remember.
of the others, yeah. But they wouldn't wrap the whole cab with the glass, and it took me quite a while to find this one. Now you can get in a hot rod magazine and they'll sell you a kit. You can cut your little window.
Oh, really?
Put your big window.
Yeah, but this, pull that hood up and
Sure can.
Take a look at the 327. What engine did this come out with originally?
Well, it could have come out with a 265 V8 or
283.
Well, no, this is just a little bit ahead of 283.
Oh, okay. And you had this engine made. Who made this for you?
Well, actually, I got it out of 65 Impala, and we just tore it down. It was pretty well factory fresh. We just kind of reworked the heads, put a little RV cam in there to help out for gas mileage, and stuck her in.
All right. Well, Jim, thanks for showing the vehicle off.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Good seeing you again.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at that hot rod Lincoln.
My pop to go my bail. He said, son, you're going to drive and drink, and you don't quit driving that hot rod Lincoln.
Welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Roger Thompson, and I'm standing here next to Dan McGaffin from Salina, Kansas. This is Dan's hot rod we're standing in front of, and it looks to be a 1950 Lincoln.
Correct.
Did you build this thing, Dan?
No.
Tell us about the history of this car.
I found the car in Miami Beach at a place called South Beach Classics, and I was looking for a Mercury, and this happened to come up on the internet, and they had about 40 or so pictures of it, and I really bought it for the interior because it was really perfect, but the outside, the bumpers, they were all hammered, and so.
Did you know this wasn't a Mercury?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew it was a Mercury, but it had the same options that I was looking for.
Tell me about where this, the idea to call this the hot rod Lincoln after that song in the 50s. I think some of us old timers remember the song, and you've got the line from the song written right there on the firewall.
Yeah, I was in the garage and tinkering around, and that song came over an oldie station, so I decided just to make that little plaque and call it a hot rod Lincoln, and it's not really a hot rod, but it's kind of a semi-custom looking hot rod.
It's got the original engine in it.
Original engine, 337 flathead, 152.5 horsepower, and I changed out. I put an alternator, electric windshield wiper, because you know how the vacuums work.
Yeah.
And the other thing, gear heads make a special power steering just for this car.
Well, we're going to walk around and look at this car in a few minutes, but one thing I noticed on the driver's window over here, that wasn't standard with this car, was it? There's a tray sitting there with some hamburgers and French fries and some original Cokes.
I got a mannequin called Peggy Sue that's all roller skates and the whole deal and a real short dress and all the stuff, and she was supposed to be here today, but it's kind of wind's picking up, and I'm afraid it'll fall over on some car or even mine. So I just put the tray and stuff out there.
All right.
And my dog, I brought my dog. He tries to keep up with me on the highway, but he's back there on the back tire.
I see him over there eating that hot dog.
Yes, it fell off the tray.
The pipes on the side of this, they used to be called lake pipes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're lake pipes, and they're hooked up, and they have I have electronic damper with a button under the dash. I can open them, close them. So
you're a high-tech 1950 guy. I can see that. We're taking some views of this car right now.
Okay.
You've lowered this, or did you buy it lowered?
I lowered it 2 inches with some aluminum rod, inch square rod, and you just put it below the springs. You have to chisel all that off and stuff.
All right.
And when it sets down, it just keeps it up or down, shrinks it down about 2 inches, 2.5 inches.
Now, did the car have the leather interior in it when you got it?
Yes.
It did?
Yeah, the whole interior was the reason why I really got it.
What was the interior originally in this Lincoln?
It was probably a mohair, and this original color was like a real drab, like a real pale green, because I found some color underneath it.
All right.
Yeah.
Glenda is going to take some pictures of this, and we'll come back and discuss a few other points about your hot rod Lincoln, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
So you did the bumpers and the paint job after you got it?
No.
No, you didn't. You did the bumpers?
Paint was on it, but I remashed it and done some other bumpers. There was really bad creases, and this was all bent back, and I took them to Topeka Industrial Chrome, and I'm really satisfied with it. Of course, those are the fake spots that they all have on.
Yeah.
Well, they did originally have spotlights. And I got a bunch of pictures of some flyers that show this type of car going down to a big estate, and they got the spots shining so they can see it.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the models they made back in the 40s and 50s had those spotlights.
Yeah, they just tried to keep up with the Cadillac.
Yeah. Dan, we appreciate you showing us your hot rod Lincoln, and we picked up all the features of this car. Glenda has been filming here, and this is really an automobile to be proud of. We thank you for taking your time to visit with us at Grassroots Racing Show.
Thank you very much. It's my first time I've been here so far.
You're going to drive and drink.
I think you'll love it. It's quite a place. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have the pleasure of visiting with a fella named Larry Saralt from Topeka. Larry, is this your Ford we're standing in front of?
No, it's a Chevrolet.
Say it again.
It's a Chevrolet. Chevrolet.
I'll be darned, it is, isn't it? Tell us about this car, would you?
Well, this truck, when I bought it, all I got was the cab, the hood, and the 2 doors. And I started out from there. Then I didn't have a frame, so I found a 36 pickup truck frame and mounted it on that, but I only used just part of the frame.
This started out as a pickup, this vehicle?
Yes, a vehicle. Yeah, it's a title. I got a title for it.
I mean, they made pickups that look like this?
Well, not exactly.
What year was this?
1946.
Oh, in 1946.
The top part of this grill went like this down to here, then the rest of it went this way. And I bought this out of a swap meet, and I had to fit it because I took the hinge out of the hood and narrowed the hood down. So I fitted that to fit that. And I got a friend that's got a steel machine, and he can punch out anything you want. And I showed him what I wanted, and we drawed it up, and nope, I run about 65 today.
You got all this equipment and stuff in here, and you drive the speed limit?
I can go, well, this thing will run, it wants to run 80, but I won't drive it because it's too darn light. I ain't gonna drive it no 80 miles an hour. 65 is my speed. Hey,
and you have a driving record that reflects that?
I sure do.
Let's look at the inside of this.
And when I bought this, the dash wasn't even in it, and I liked the dashes. So I went to a swap meet, found the dash. The glove box door was gone. I finally found another swap meet and found the glove box door. No seat. So this seat here is originally out of an S10 Chevy pickup. I cut it and fitted it. The door window regulators were all shot, rusted to pieces, so couldn't find any good used ones. So I found an outfit I can buy.
You got power windows in this?
Power window units in it. And so I put the power window units in it.
Amazing. And it's got a little pickup bed. You haul trash?
A custom made bed.
No, it didn't have power.
Oh, no.
the matter with you?
It didn't look like this either. And you just got a bed, ain't you? Haul trash or gravel or whatever.
Well, I haul my firewood in it.
You don't haul your firewood in there.
I haul my luggage back here. And then it's got an S10 rear end under it. And when I got
Can I take it for a spin, Larry?
I did.
Take it for a spin later?
Yeah.
Wow.
The old fellow wants to know if we can take it for a spin.
Oh, okay.
That means drive it.
Okay. Sell it to him. But you
Really?
know,
All right.
when I got the frame, I cut the frame off right here. Cut the frame right off there. Dropped her 9 inches. Narrowed it down.
I see what you've done. Yeah, I see the frame drop down there. Yeah.
And set the cab down. Set the cab down in there. And everybody wants to know if it's been chopped or channeled. No, it just was channeled down over the top. The body hasn't been cut anything on it. It's the original part of the body. So then about a 4-inch angle or tubing iron went back with it and seed the back part and done away with the back half of it.
I apologize that this is only a 2-day show, but
well.
have you got some knowledge about this thing? I want to visit with you about this. Hold on, you got to talk into this thing, Larry. Hold.
You want the knowledge? Larry and Son's rod shop, we've done that for ever since he was a kid. Here's the life story. There it was.
Oh my word.
And I bought this one back here. It was a 40 Ford cab over. I was going to make a pickup out of it.
We'll look at that in a minute. Larry, we've got to go.
Okay.
But thank you very much. This has been quite an interview.
There
What an automobile. Yeah, it looked like it did when you started.
Here's the one.
See you later, folks.
Okay.
This is Scotty Anderson, and you're watching my favorite show, Grassroots Racing.
Welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. Roger, we're going to head out tonight at the track out at Salina Speedway pretty quick, catch up with Mike Kraft and the film crew that's been in another racetrack. He's done a fantastic job for us this year, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the Doug Wolfgang sprint car, project car that we're building for, well, we wanted to do it for this year, but I guess we'll get it ready over the winter instead. And, you know, the car looks like it's pretty complete.
It is
with the exception of an engine.
With the exception of an engine. We've got all the other parts we need, and we have the wing and the top wing and those other items. So it's just easier to put it together once we get an engine in it, and then we can take care of the throttle and the brakes and the lines and that kind of thing. It'll go pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, this is the second Doug Wolfgang car that we've had. This one has some specific changes that after you drove the first Doug Wolfgang, you had some suggestions for some changes that fit your style, and this one incorporates those changes.
Yeah, it does. What I like about Doug's cars are when you put your radius rods on the car, you've already automatically got the front end lined up, you've got the bird cage timing done. That's one thing about driving and owning a race car that's built by a race car driver, and he knows what he's doing. And I really like the car. When we ordered this, as you recall, I liked our other car, you know, and it's in perfect shape. It just handles so well. And Doug said, you know, what is it you don't like about my car? And I said, to be fast, your car has to have that left frame rail banging off the ground in the corner. And it lets the car roll over, and it rolls over so far and gets such a bite off the rear that frame rail bounces off the ground. And he said, I said, if you angled that frame rail up, we could get more clearance, you know, and maybe even a little bit more bite out of it. And his response, as you recall, was, Roger, I've won over 700 World of Outlaw races with that frame rail banging off the ground. Well, it was a smart aleck response. So I responded, think about how many races you would have won if it hadn't been banging off the ground. Yeah. So we had a good laugh over it, and he said he thought he could do that, raise that rail on the left side. And then he changed the cockpit area. He rounded this side out so it lets the air out, and the right-hand side of the car with the wing on it is almost solid, with just a little slit there that you can see out of if you need to. And then he reconfigured the roll bars inside to put the driver back just a little further above the rear end, and then he changed the front wing angle and location in order to get a little more front end weight on the car, because it's going to have a lot of rear weight on it. It's quite a design, and it's the only one he's built.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it run. Mark Brown from Advanced Engine is working on the engine, and we gave Mark such good help last year. He's just been swamped and hasn't been able to get the sprint car engine done. If in the background you're able to hear some of the noise, the loudspeaker, that barking dog doesn't have anything to do with the car show, but he's offended by the car show. But the loudspeaker, we're at Chapman, Kansas right now for the Labor Day celebrations, and part of those celebrations include the car show, an annual event, and huge event for this community. Chapman was hit by a tornado in June of 2008. It's made an excellent recovery. The school's all rebuilt, and it's going really, really well. We're going to head out to Night at the Track events with Mike Kraft at Salina Speedway. You'll get to see interviews he's done with Corey Lagoon, with Austin Carter, Tyler Fry, Chris Unruh in the mod lights, and Brandon Leeson in the mini stock class. And the classes you're going to be able to watch tonight racing over there will be at mini stock class, their stock class, sports mods, modified, and the mod lights. And so stay tuned for Night at the Track. You will enjoy the racing activity, and you'll always enjoy Mike Kraft because he does a good job with the races and the interviews. So I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the Grassroots Racing Show, Night at the Track.
With the points leader here in the A mods here at Salina Speedway, Corey Lagoon. Corey, you've been racing here for a while. Track come back to life 2 years ago. I guess you really like it here.
Yeah, it's got its ups and downs, but for the most part we had a pretty good time here, and track's been good, and it's close to home.
You live in Salina?
Yeah. Just my car stays 6-7 miles down the road at my dad's house, so it's not far at all. So
another one of those family operations, man. You see it in racing all over anymore.
Yep. Dad helps me out, and then my wife and my kids, and they come to all the races and go with us when we travel, and it's pretty good. We're pretty much all family right now.
And this is only like my second visit to Salina. Now, you race here a lot. Tell me what we're going to expect out of this track. I know we talked a minute ago early on, Slimy, but what are we going to have later on?
It's going to be fast. It's going to get fast tonight. Later part of the heat races will probably get pretty good. First part of the heat races, I don't know how much passing we're going to see, but feature time comes around, I think it's going to be pretty hammered down. I think we're going to see some good racing.
Answer me this now. Everybody wants to know what the leader's running, man. Tell me what this chassis is and who's making the power.
It's 2012 Bills built out of Wichita, Kansas. Advanced engine here in Salina. They do all our machine work on our motors and stuff, and then my dad, he assembles everything and does all that, so we're trying to stay local with everybody.
I'm going to put myself on the spot. That advanced engine, is that Mark Brown?
Yep, that's Mark. Yep, that's Mark. We've been going there since I started racing. He's been doing our motors, so he does a good job and keeps us in the power.
I was going to say I've seen him on the GRS shows before. I think he did some stuff with Doug Thompson, and man, the guy sounds like he knows what he's doing, and evidently he must, because man, you're putting it down out here.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's been doing it a long time, and he's pretty picky on stuff, which sometimes we don't like that, but in the long run we really do like it. So
as long as they go fast, that's all you care about.
As long as they go fast and last. So
okay, once again, leading the points here at Salina Speedway, Corey Lagoon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Austin Carter, you're leading the stock car class here at Salina Speedway. Man, that is one tough class.
It is, especially now that we got the guys from out west coming and playing with us every weekend. It makes it real tough.
Now, how far are they coming from? Or where are you talking about?
They're coming from Colby, about 3 hours.
Holy smoke. All the way from Colby back here to race?
Yep. Sure is. Nick Tubbs is one of them, and this weekend Jason Rogers came too.
Yeah. Now you're going to return the favor and go out there and show them how it's done out there?
Yeah, I did last weekend, so we'll see about another weekend. It was a long Sunday night on the way back.
You don't have to tell me about their ride homes after the races. I do that myself. I know what you think, what you're talking about. Sometimes you're just saying, I just want to get there. But answer me this, who's making the power for this hot rod?
B&J Auto out of Simpson, Kansas.
Where's Simpson? I'm from Kansas City. I bet you got to fill me in.
Yeah, it's up by Beloit, Kansas, which is where I grew up, and I live in Salina now. But I've known him my whole life, and he wanted to build me engines, so I decided I'd give it a try, and it's working out pretty good.
Has he got a machine shop up there, or what's he do?
Yeah, he just assembles and he sends off the work to get machined at Danny Toplift in Manhattan.
Yeah. Okay. Answer me this: what's this track going to look like later on? I mean, the wind's kind of picking up a little bit, but talk to somebody else. Said you guys had some sprinkles, kind of off and on. But man, you can look at the ground here, dry as a bone. What are we going to have later?
I'm hoping for a dry slick track, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be tacky all night.
Well, hope so, but congratulations on leading the points, and man, all I can say is let's go racing tonight. What do you think?
Yes, sir, I agree. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Caught up with the leader in the points here at Salina Speedway, Tyler Fry, in the sports mod, northern mods, whatever we want to call them, but Tyler off to a good start this year.
Yeah, we've had a really good year so far. I think we've won 2 out of the 3 shows and didn't finish the other shows, so it kind of hurt us in the points a little bit, but so far we've had a good year here. Borrowed a motor for tonight, so hopefully it runs good enough to do it again.
Well, I was just going to ask you here a little later on who's making the power in here, but I don't know whether you give your original guy or the one you got in there tonight.
Oh, well, we really don't have a guy. A lot of it's done by ourselves, a lot of it's done outsourced, so I mean, really, there's a lot of people that help us on motors, and we usually have a pretty good one in the cars. So.
Yeah. I was there at the back of the car a while ago running a Belleville Motorsports chassis by the Trevinator. Now, who is that?
Oh, my son's name's Trevin. We've always kind of made a tradition of putting his name on the back of the car, and we usually don't try to mess with the stuff we do every year. So it's on there again this year. It's actually a DMR car. David Murray designed the car, and BMS just builds them. So it's a good car, and been really happy with it all year.
Well, maybe you can go out there with this borrowed motor tonight and pull this thing out. You got any idea where you're starting or anything yet?
Oh, in the heat, I think we're 3rd row outside. Got to get top 4 to make the invert. So, shooting for a top 4 in the heat race.
Well, Tyler Fry leading the points here for the Northern Sport Mods at Salina Speedway. Let's have some fun, Tyler.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. The leader in the points here for the Mod Lights, Chris Unrow. Chris, boy, these are fast little things out there.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're a lot of fun to drive. They're a handful also.
How long you been wheeling one of these?
It's my 2nd year.
2nd year, and you're leading the points, man. You must have figured this out pretty good.
Well, I don't know about that, but I've had some good luck so far. So.
No quad racing or anything like that before you did this? Motorcycles?
When I was a kid, I raced go-karts with motorcycle motors on. I was 12 years old, and that's what got me into racing as a kid. Yeah. Done that for about 2 years and kind of stepped away with the family business and such, and decided again a couple years ago and just been enjoying it ever since.
I was going to say, once the bug bites, you got the itch.
You can't get it out. Can't get it out.
Yeah. Answer me this, and I'm not real too familiar with the Mod Lights chassis, and who makes the power?
This one's a Suzuki.
How big?
1,000 cc.
Is that the limit for the class?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
And what about the chassis now? Is that a homemade?
No, this is an Eliminator chassis.
And where are they out of?
I'm not real sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Me neither, so we're both in the same boat.
Yep.
All I can say is I can hardly wait for you guys to get out there. Sometimes I think I watch you guys run, you're just almost as fast as the A-mods, it seems like. I don't know what the speeds are comparatively wise, but pretty fast little hot rods.
Yes, we're actually in the low 80s getting in the corners, and the sport mods are in the high 80s, so we're real close to them.
Yeah. Once again, leading the points here at Salina Speedway for the Mod Lights, Chris Unrow.
Uh-huh.
I was close.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Yep.
Brandon Thiessen, the leader here in the mini stock class. Brandon, I'm not sure what I'm standing beside here. Is it a 4-cylinder? You tell me.
Yeah, it's a Mazda B2000 with a 2300 Ford in it, 4-cylinder. We got Chevy rear end in it, and it's a little bit of everything.
I guess in that class, then you can run whatever body you want to, because it looks more like a truck than it does a car.
Yeah, we run up in the J-Esker series, more upwards, Concordia and Fairbury up there, and Tommy and them worked it out so we could run down here this year. Kind of let everything come in here and go racing.
Well, that's a good deal for him to, open that up for you guys to get another chance to run, I guess, during the weekend. But who makes these chassis, and who makes the motor for you?
Greg Gerard built the motor, and all the rest of it I do. So I do it in my little garage at home, and not a lot of money. We just, whatever we can get in it, we go.
Where's Greg located?
He's in Concordia. That's where I'm out of, so. That's my wife's brother.
Not too far from Belleville, boy. There's some speed happens up there. I guess maybe it's coming and falling down that way to the south there in Concordia on you.
Yeah, we're trying. We'll see. We're at a pretty big weight disadvantage out here. We weigh about 400 or 500 pounds more than most of the cars running. So
on a dry, slick track, though, that might help.
It might help. This class turns out this year to stay out of trouble the first few laps and then go racing. That's how we've been able to do what we've been able to do.
Once again, the leader for the mini stocks, Brandon Thiessen. Brandon, thanks a lot, buddy.
You bet.
All right, fantastic. So we're going to have some lucky winners going to walk away with pretty good sizable cash tonight here. All right, green flag racing is on again. Off the start, Stacy Fuller takes back over the lead here. She got a really good jump off the start down the front chute here. We're going to see if she's going to be able to hang on to that. Right behind her, of course, is Chris Walker. But moving into that runner-up spot now is the 50C car. And that is Eric Gunrow. But we'll see how it all unfolds for the rest of this one. 15 laps are scheduled here. Here's Wade Hiller back there, and Chris Walker's dropped back as well. Brendan Thiessen in the 21 truck. He's your points leader as well, trying to move up to the top 5, but he's going to get challenged alongside there within turn 3. We bring it back down here. Stacy Fuller off of that restart the third time has been able to get a nice edge here on this one, trying to hang on to it. As a matter of fact, if she is able to pick up possibly her first feature win here on the year. Stacy with one top 5 on the season. Right now, she's getting a battle as well. Going down on the bottom side, I believe that is the 15 car. We'll check it out to make sure here. Well, no, it's the 31 Double D. Dallas Dunn was up there, and he actually was number 6 in the grid. And right now, giving a challenge, but couldn't get around her down there on the bottom side of number 2. But Stacy got a little bit of a slingshot effect out of that down the backside, and she's going to increase her lead just a little bit more. So she brings it out of turn number 4 down the front side as Stacy Fuller continues to hang on. Back here, Wade Hiller trying to make his move as well. As you look back to the pack, your Brendan Thiessen has dropped back a little more in the pack now, as he's back there number 7. And then beyond and behind that, the 7R Russell Roberg is back there in the number 8 spot. The rest of the field is way back here. But Stacy Fuller has really put things together here and trying to hold off that big challenge that she is getting from Dallas Dunn. And the caution is brought out on the speedway, and that was going to involve the Thiessen car as well as the number 7 in Roberg, and brings out the caution. The charge here from the 31 Double D of Dallas Dunn anyway. But now coming off of this with 5 laps down, 10 to go. Let's see what she does here coming off of turn number 4, waiting for the green flag to drop from Thad Clovis, and here it goes, and let's see how well she's able to hang on to this. She got a good jump and a good start here. Comes Wade Hiller as well, trying to go down on the bottom side and makes a move around the 50C car, and trying to get at that 3rd place spot, but couldn't hang on to it, and going right back up there, Eric Gunrow out of Galva. But Stacy Fuller off of that restart, but she's able to hang on. We've got everything rolling the flow. We've got a car over there on the backside. Looks like they're not going to Vegas. Hopefully they're going to go ahead and go off the track over there and head back to the pits. And it looks like that's what's going to take place. So we will lose a car over there on the backside. Couldn't catch that number as they go off the track. But nevertheless, Stacy Fuller still hanging on here. Here comes Dallas Dunn, the 31 Double D alongside of Fuller. 7 laps are down. Side-by-side racing. Dunn and Fuller. Who's it going to be? Coming down the front chute here. And Stacy Fuller again still has the better end of the stick here, as she tries to hang on and tries to increase her lead. Looks like she's got a better move out of turn number 2 this time, and does as she works down the back chute here. 7 laps complete. 8 remain here for our opening feature of the night. See if we can't put this one in the record books here. Lap number 8, and now another car moving up there. John McNabb in the 14M car has moved his way into the runner-up spot. Wade Heller, well, the caution another time here for a couple of cars that are together down here just outside of turn number 4. That's going to be the Robart car again here. We cannot see the number of the other one that sets down there. 21. That one, the 21 car. There's 7 laps down here. When we change this to a 12-lap race, we'll see what happens here off of the restart. As Stacy Fuller is still trying to hang on. Wade Heller has gotten up there now to make a challenge. Also John McNabb in the 14. Unruh in the 50C. That's Eric Unruh. But Fuller able to extend a little bit here. The 31 Double D has really kind of been taken out of the mix here. As a matter of fact, not involved in the race anymore with Stacy Fuller on lap number 8. So all she's got to do is hang on for 4 more here to pick up her first feature win on 2012 here at Salina Speedway. Looks like she's got a little more power here and moving away from your runner-up position, which is right now neck and neck with Heller and McNabb. 9 are in the books. And Stacy Fuller looking for that first feature win here in 2012. McNabb gets a nice little run over there on turn number 2, got high and then lost a position. Eric Unruh trying to catch up to him too as well. And now as we watch Stacy Fuller come down here with just a couple of laps to go. Down the backside, Fuller, this time around, she's going to be taking the white flag, so if she can keep that same kind of line and run the strong line up there at the top, where she's got the traction, got the power, looks like she could pick up her first feature win. Stacy Fuller in the 1 car, going to try to hold off the charge by the 187 of Wade Heller out of Manhattan. Stacy Fuller from Salina down the backside, got just a little bit high there, bobbled just momentarily, but she's got 2 more turns to make here. This could be her first feature win. Heller's going to try to make a charge at her. She stays high, comes up here, and around out of turn number 4, Stacy Fuller is going to get the win. Wade Heller is second, followed up by the 50C of Eric Unruh. Then John McNabb in the 14 car is going to be your 4th place finisher, followed up by the Elliott May 15A. There's your top 5. Green flag racing is on for your Auto House Mod Lights, and Dustin Forsberg in the 3 car has jetted right out to the front. Boy, Dustin Forsberg from Bel Air, Kansas, down there around Wichita. He was a successful driver in the hobby stock division here years ago and has moved there to the Mod Light division, and right now out in front off of lap number 1, 15 laps here in this second feature of the night. The other guy that's right up there with him, of course, is Brandon Gray, the 48B, and he's going to give a challenge, but we've already got a caution flag out as well. Over here on turn number 4, we've got a car up there at the top of the speedway, and brings out our first caution for the Mod Lights. Restart coming your way here for the Mod Lights. 1 lap still is the lone lap down. See what they've got if they can keep this thing going. Dustin Forsberg has seemingly had the car all night long. To make a rock and roll here, your top 3 cars coming away there from the rest of the group. Your way down that backstretch. Earl Kinner connected the T1T car. Corbin Pickerel in the 83 right out your top 5. But up front here, and this one should be lap number 3 that would be down. Dustin Forsberg seems to have the power here tonight just to move away from the field. He's getting that accomplished right now. This should be lap number 4 that will be east. Bud Lee trying to dive down there on the low side of the track and almost had Brandon Gray pass, but couldn't keep it in place. Corbin Pickrell has moved up into the number 4 position. Pickrell, who was actually in the number 8 position in the grid, now moved up there. Trying to take over the number 3 position. He's side by side with Bud Lee. Good battle going on there between those two. Pickrell able to make it around on the high side. And Dustin Forsberg is about to make a marker. Brandon Gray still your runner-up guy, but Corbin Pickrell is going to try to make a charge at him as well. Bud Lee tries to go back down on the bottom side of the speedway to get around him, but can't make a stick. Earl Kinner-Connect will be your guy that rounds out the top 5 there. Chris Unruh in that 88C back there in the number 6 spot. Some cars move past the 43 there, as you see. Also making the way, there's Nick Watson, the 01Z. There's the 28 of Michael Winger. The laps beginning to diminish now here for your Autohouse Mod Lights, but Dustin Forsberg has just been outstanding here, but brings out the caution another time for the 22 car down there at the bottom of number 2, and that's going to be the second time in the same spot for Rory Klein. Gone to the green-white checker too coming up for them. Dustin Forsberg from Bel Air leading this group around, see if he can hang on for the win here. And you know, if Dustin was able to pull this off, this would be his first victory here on the season. He does have 1 top 5 and a couple of top 10s to date on the season here. Looks like we could get the restart here. The green, white, and checkered for this division. Well, the sport monsters, time cars, and the modifieds, all yet to come. All right, and we'll see if Dustin Forsberg has enough here to hold off. Well, Brandon Gray going to the high side, but Forsberg down on the bottom side, bobbles momentarily, coming out of 4. White flag is out. Let's see if he can do it for 1 final time around. Forsberg, Gray, Pickrell, Bud Lee, and Earl Kinner-Connect round out your top 5. Forsberg goes down to the bottom side of the speedway as he comes out of turn number 4. It is. It's going to be Dustin Forsberg there as your winner. And I believe the way that it looked at Bud Lee was going to finish up in the 4th, and Kinner-Connect in the 5th place spot. Pickrell back there in 3rd. And that's the way that that one rounded out there. But how about it for the very first feature win for him on the year? Starts out there to the front off of turn number 2 and down the backside. This your Extreme Motorsports INCA's Northern Sport Mods, and here is lap number 1. We changed this down to a 15-lap feature here. The lap number 1 is down by the wayside. We'll simply keep it moving and going. Jacob Smuts along with Curtis Beal up there in the 3K car. Also the 12th of Brian Fink. Right in that mix of the top 4, Seth Schroer as well. Well, lap number 2 is going here in the 8J of Josh Rice out of Minneapolis. Now those cars are going to shake it out and move up here. If you take a look back in the field, Dane Smith moved his way up here in the 92 car as well. Well, the 1 car went off the backside of the speedway over there. That might have been the Mike Wadle car as he kind of dropped onto the edge there. We're going to see good back up. Another car stopped over there on the backside. That is the front car. That was not the Mike Wadle car. Mike is back in there, so the caution comes out another time here in this one. We'll try to find out who that car is that went off the backside over there. Return to racing coming your way and bringing it down will be Jacob Schmutz there into the J1 car, and we're back to Green Flag Racing. comes Curtis Peel up there alongside of the Smudge car. And it looks like the Peel might have an opportunity to take over that top spot as he comes out of turn number 4 here on lap number 3. Curtis Peel has taken over. We've got a bunch of cars together there in turn number 4. And the one car that I can see from this angle is the 80 car of Mike Wheeler. 3 of them collected there, brings out the caution again. Jacob Smuts is the guy back in front here, and they're going to get that green flag to drop and ready to rock and roll. Let's see if he can make the same kind of move that he did before. And looks like he's going to. Well, kind of a similar type of move. He does get up above Josh Rice and then now try to work his way down underneath on the Jacob Smuts J1 car. And there's a car out there that black flag, the book car, who from Iowa that has not seen black flag apparently. Still out there, still racing, right in the middle of the block. By there, but getting the black flag from Tag Focus. Again, Curtis Peel trying to go down the bottom side here to recapture the lead that he does here as he goes by the flag stand. When the caution has been brought out here for the Northern Sport Mods, 6-year Motorsports IMCA division. 4 laps complete. We've cut this down from 20 to 15 before. I don't know if it's going to be cut down anymore or not, but here we go, blue flag racing again. So off of the initial beginning here, down that backside, Jacob Smuts, Junction City driver in the J1. Hanging on, your 2 green cars are bounded for the 3rd and 4th position. Curtis Peel in the 3K car. Josh Rice in the 8J. Minneapolis has to take over that 3rd position, and he does. Brian Fink with the 12K. And then also the 15 there. Lap number 6 has been erased. 50 plus race rolling the flow on Curtis Peel now. He takes the Josh Rice car. We started momentarily back here, but got it going again here. We'll get your side-by-side racing with the 2 green cars there with Dr. Jacob Rice and Josh Rice, along with Brian Fink. Curtis Peel running the road challenge with the Smuts J1 car. Down on the bottom side, looking for an avenue down there. And he's side by side, maybe he's going to be able to make that advance complete that he does. So Curtis Peel found a way to get around the 1J. Again, side by side racing by Fink and Rice back there. Clint Smith, Schroeder, the car that is moved into the mix up there in the spot is 2C. That's back control. 8 laps have got down. Curtis Peel is really just moving away from the field right now. Pretty comfortable advantage for him. Looks like he's going to make a marker out of the car coming up there. One of those 12 cars at the back of the field. Getting really close to the finish here. And we watched that Josh Rice had made a charge and a move up here to try to challenge the 3K at Curtis Peel. Now the caution of a car that is up over there off of turn number 3. He is up there. the 4. Green flag racing is on. John Price was definitely challenged. They dive down to the bottom side, but a nice job by Curtis Field that time for pulling on. But here comes that 1J car another time up there, and they're going to make the challenge. But Curtis Field from Lynchburg in the 3K car. You know, when I look at what he's accomplished on the year, he has only one top 5 on the year. Trying to pick up not only his second top 5, but his first feature win as well. It looks like that this one is going to be the checkered flag right here. That's the way it's going to end up here. Curtis Field is going to get that win. It's going to be Josh Rice in the 8J car, and then also the 1J, Jacob Schmutz. And that's the way your top 3 is going to end here. We end on a caution flag coming out with the car spinning out in 1 and 2. So picking up his very first feature win on the year in that 3K car is Curtis Field out of Lynchburg. Turn number 1 is going to be Shelby Stetson in the 59 car, Austin Carter in the 63, as well as Justin Murdoch in that 24N car that will make the battle on here on lap number 1. But it's going to be Austin Carter and Shelby Stetson, but how about Murdoch on the bottom side of the speedway? 3 wide almost there through 1 and 2. Austin Carter is going to be the guy that's going to emerge out of that as your leader. And here's a guy that's already won a couple of features on the year. Austin Carter trying to go for number 3 here tonight. It's starting to take off here from the field on lap number 2 with 2 of them down. But Murdoch trying to work his way in solidly into the number 2 spot. But back there battling with him is going to be that 737 of Nick Tubbs out of Colby. He dived down on the bottom side, and Tubbs, you know, I'll tell you what, after winning a couple here last week here at Salina Speedway, really likes the way this track sets up. But Murdoch as well, battling with him, and Stinson trying to stay in that top 5 group, or top 4 anyway, goes down to the bottom side. Does the work for him down here. Also in this car, this Dustin McClure from Logan, Kansas, first time racing here. The only reason that he came here to race tonight is because of the night racing with the Down syndrome awareness. And he certainly has a son with Down syndrome, so wanted to come. His son's name is Aaron, and he wanted to come here to race tonight for this special event. And it certainly has been. It's been a very good experience, I think, for all of the family and friends that have come here on this special evening. All right, your lap has gone down. Carter trying to hold out front here, but look at Nick Tubbs. He goes high on the speedway here. He's up there to make the challenge of Austin Carter, and is Tubbs going to make it 3 in a row here after winning 2 last weekend? We'll see. He's there to make the challenge, and also you still got in the hunt up there. Well, Carter goes down low. But you also got Justin Murdoch. Stinson has dropped back to the number 5 spot there. So lots of cars go by right now. And the 37 car is up there. That's Jason Rogers out of Selden, Kansas. Selden out there in the western part of the state is boot. Nick Tubbs, high side. Down to the front straightaway, but doesn't have the power to get by there. Top 4 really have got to move away. How about the 26 of Dustin McClure? Battling with Shelby Stetson back there. Bobby Arnold way back there in the 8:55, but another lap has gone to the wayside. Austin Carter, not only the fact that he leads this race, he also leads the points as well. But Nick Tubbs trying to make some statement about that. And Jason Rogers as well back there at 37 from Selden. So those are your top three guys here. Austin Carter out of New Cambria. Here's the white flag lap coming down here. Boy, this one really went by very, very quickly. Austin Carter here trying to hang on for one more time. I don't know if Tubbs or Rogers can have anything to say about that, but I know there are two left turns here for Austin Carter. Comes out of turn number 4, going to take the checkered flag for the third time this season. Austin Carter and Nick Tubbs going to be a runner-up. Jason Rogers in third, then Justin Murdoch, and then it's going to be Dustin McClurg in that number 5 spot, the way it's going to finish up there. So let's take you back to the top in that order. Dustin McClurg in 5th to the 26th car. Your 4th place spot goes to Justin Murdoch from Concordia. And then your 37 car, Jason Rogers in 3rd. Your runner-up is the 737 of Nick Tubbs. But down by the 63 car from New Cambria, Kansas, picking up his 3rd feature win on the season, it's Austin Carter.
Welcome back. Let's start the A-Mod A-Main.
All right, let's try it one more time here. See if we can get these guys to come on around and bring it home for the night. Number 7 on this particular division. Let's see if we can keep it going. Ryan Hale, I've got him marked down for 1 lap down here. Let's hope that sticks. We've got 3 wide in turn 3 and 4. We're going to hang on to this, and down the front should they go. I believe we are going to get 1 lap down. Wow, finally. Still again, a lot of jockeying for position back there from the number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 position all the way back through the field. And we're looking for another lap to go down here. Maybe Brian Nell, this might be his night here, even though that we've had so many cautions on this one. Here's lap number 2 that has gone to the wayside. The 18 car right there, that's Austin Allen out of Goddard. He has moved into the number 2 position. There goes Jeff Welch in the 59W car. He runs right up there, going to challenge Austin Allen right now. And then, of course, you've got the 8R car of Jesse Richter, who's up there. Corey LeBrun, Shannon Johnson, but also Danny Morrison Jr. working his way up there in that group. Timmy Chevrolet, the 6M car. Here in the middle of the pack, Shannon Johnson right there with him. And then you've got the Brendan Gemmel, G3. Smoking Joe Cleveland back there as well. And Brian Nell. Still leading the group around here. Maybe we get it spread out enough for maybe to get this thing in books. Well, the 8-2 car, Randy Wilson down here at the bottom. He and Shannon Johnson kind of battling momentarily as Gemmel goes by both of them. Here comes Smoky Joe up there. The challenge. Tad Davis for the 75 as well. But Ryan Nell with just an outstanding run here thus far in this race. You know, to date, he has only 2 top 10s tonight, and the caution again for the 24 car, the top of turn 2. Check out tonight's show here at Salina Speedway. Mike's making his trek across the state, headed out to other racetracks over the weekend, and on out to Colorado. Here we go for the restart. We've got 4 down, and we're looking for 16 more to get completed here in tonight's program. Brian Nell again off of the restart here. Trying to stave off the effort by Austin Allen here, driving around a Goddard, but Jeff Welch in the 59W as well as Danny Morrison Jr. battling here as they come out of turn number 4 down the main chute. 5 laps have gone. Brian now with a very good run here tonight. See if they can hang on to this thing, but a good battle going all the way back through the field, but you're seeing it up here at the front too as well. Austin Allen, Danny Morrison Jr., Timmy Chevrolet in that 6M car, and also the Jesse Ricker 8J. Followed up there, Brendan Gettle in that G3 car, working his way up there. Randy Wilson in the A2 and Smoking Joe Cleveland in the number 2 car. Lap number 7, taking a dozen to go. But a really nice line is being run here tonight by Brian Nell, and he really is hitting his marks each and every trip around, and he finds that low line being very helpful for him as he comes out of turn 4 down the main chute, and will do the same thing here again as he dives down to the bottom side. Has the track got plenty of power as he propels himself out of turn number 2. Danny Morrison Jr. and the Austin Allen 18 car battling here. And Danny Morrison Jr., again, your track champion from a year ago here at Salina Speedway in this division. He'll try to work his way up there to make a challenge of Brian Nell. There goes Brendan Kimmel by. Taking out of Ponca City, Oklahoma. He races down in that center state in a lot of tracks down there, plus up at Wichita quite a bit. As you can see, we're halfway through right now. We are halfway complete here, so 10 laps have gone down. Getting by the early frustration here. Looks like, well, there's a little bobble by Brian Nell, but giving Danny Morrison Jr. an opportunity as he will still stay down there on the bottom side. Brian Nell will, but Danny Morrison in the 14 goes high. Well, the Austin Allen 18 car, doggone near bobbling down here on turn number 2. And Danny Morrison Jr. gets alongside of the Brian Nell B6 here. How's it going to be? Coming out of turn number 4, down this front chute here with 12 laps down and 8 to go. Danny Morrison seems to have found a nice line up there at the top of the cushion, and he finds a little more traction up there. Let's see what he's got on the turn number 2, and just blows right past the B6 of Brian Nell down the backside. So your new leader here now is the 14A of Danny Morrison Jr. And Danny on the year is looking for his first feature win as well. We've got 13 down. Baker does it down, 7 to go. Danny Morrison Jr., Brian Nell the B6, and then you've got the Austin Allen. Well, no, Brendan Gettle in the G3 car is darted into that number 3 position out. Austin Allen in the 4th place spot. Then you got the Tad Davis 75. 14 are down, 6 laps are remaining here for grand finale on this BMS IMCA modified show tonight. Coming around here, looks like we're going to be down here to 5 laps remaining now as we watch Danny Morrison go by. Boy, Brian Nell still trying to stay in the hunt for anything there if Danny Morrison would happen to bobble at any time. The 70 car back there, the 70 team Terry Vaughn is about to become a marker here by the Danny Morrison Jr. 14M as we watch the Brian Nell car work his way through the bottom of 3 and 4. They go down the front chute here. We're down to the wanting station. Brendan Gimmel, Austin Allen, and Tad Davis round out your top 5. But it is the local drivers here out of Bennington. Danny Morrison Jr. the 14M. He is taking charge of this race. Brian Nell of Fallen is in that runner-up spot, and looks like it's going to be 17 down, so we've got 3 to go. But Brendan Gimmel out of Ponca City, Oklahoma, in the G3 car. Been one of those guys that traveled around many racetracks around the state of Kansas and worked out in Oklahoma, down in Texas to boot. Now, the next time around, it's going to be white flag time here at Salina Speedway for this grand finale of the IMCA BMS Modifieds. Danny Morrison Jr. got 3 new wins wins on the year. He's only got 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, but now looking for his first feature win on the year. The track champion from a year ago with 1 lap to go. Brian Nell still is right there. Brendan Gibble is your third. Then it's going to be Austin Allen followed up by Tad Davis. There's your top 5. And also Smoking Joe Cleveland has worked his way up there in the top 6. But it is going to be Danny Morrison Jr. as well as Brian Nell in the V6. Then the G3. As Danny Morrison Jr. will get that win, Brian Nell in the runner-up spot. Brendan Gibble is your third place finisher. It's going to be the 18 of Austin Allen, and then the car that finished up there, the 75 of Tad Davis. That is your unofficial top 5. We'll take you back to the top from that point. But here again, your 5th place spot goes to the 75 of Tad Davis. In the 4th place position, the 18 of Austin Allen out of Goddard. The G3 car, Brendan Gibble out of Ponca City, Oklahoma, is in 3rd. Your runner-up, the V6 of Brian Nell, but picking up his first feature win here since winning the track championship a year ago in the 14M out of Bennington. How about it? Put your hands together for the young man that does a great job. It is Danny Morrison Jr.
Well, welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. You've been watching not only the Grassroots Racing Show, but also Night at the Track from Salina Speedway. And like I mentioned to you, you would see some really good racing from Salina Speedway. And Roger, we got to see Stacy Fuller of the Fuller family win the mini stock class, and in the stock class, Austin Carter. And you remember that was one of the people that Mike Kraft interviewed, and I don't know how he does that, but he always seems to have the ability to interview the person who winds up winning the race, or many times he's able to do that. We had in the sports mod, Curtis Phil won, and in the modified, Danny Morrison. Danny Morrison running a Belleville motorsports car, and I remember him picking his car up last year when we were up there. And in the mod light, Dustin Frosberg, I think it's pronounced, won in that class with Brandon Gray in 2nd. Good racing from Salina Speedway.
It was great racing. The track was well prepared, and the enthusiasm from the crowd was just amazing. I thought the racing was great.
Yeah, I did too. Hope you guys enjoyed it at the Night at the Track. I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. Thanks for watching. See you next week.